Robot Damashii Sazabi. Hey, what's up again, everybody? It's Robert184, 2Rs, 2Bs, gundamreviews.net, and is there a better figure to introduce Char than Char, or Full Frontal, as it were back there? I'm taking a look this time at the Robot Damashii Sazabi from Char's Counterattack, much sought after in any form. Let's see how this toy stacks up. 2012 release. It's Robot Damashii number 121 from the Robot Spirit's Side mobile suit. With a price of 5,000 yen, but you can get it for even less, and lots more great stuff from Hobby Link Japan, full links below. The Sazabi doesn't have a lot of gunpla, with just a high-grade Universal Century Master Grade and an old-school 1144th to go along with an old-school SD, but now it's getting more love with a new BB Senshi that you can see right there, and check out its review, and it's the perfect complement to the Robot Damashii New Gundam there, especially if you're going to be adding on all the effect parts. The big speculation, will we be getting a happy Christmas present from Katoki Hajime this year? Any self-respecting Robot Damashii box tour should begin with the bookcase view here, and if you just take a look here, compared to the other ones, this is an absolutely massive package. With the back showing off some great simple poses here, focusing on the proportion and the mobility, as you can recreate some of the famous scenes from the movie and just Char's general coolness across the other anime series. The beam shot rifle is going to be his main armament there with the good looking shield, along with the beam tomahawk and the oversized beam sabers there being made out of clear parts. With an enticing package so far on the outside, but let's see just what exactly the insides are going to be holding here. With the goodies inside, including 6 extra manipulators there, the beam shot rifle to go with the shield, you've got a full beam tomahawk, a half one there, an empty one to go along with the beam sabers, and a swappable forearm guard. And this is barely posed right out of the box. The first thing that you're going to see is just how thick this guy is in every direction there, wide, tall, and deep here. He's just going to be coming across as an absolute monster. The red is going to be popping there, and you can see that there's lots of details with the nice gunmetal silver there and the yellow piping everywhere where it should be, all painted on for you. No need for you to add any of your own color apps. As you can see there with all the details on the back, you've got the thrusters inside the shoulders there, and the proportions are looking suitably cartoony and intimidating at the same time. In terms of mobility there, get that music out of the way there as you can go for a full front kick there, very important for Char as a pro football player, and you can move the hips about, well, not all that much off to the side. You can see that they do want to go up, they're just going to be a little bit tight there, and it will actually stay though once you get there. And the bend at the knee, you can see it opening and looking good as you bend it down there. If you bring it forward here, let's see if you can get even more, you can see a small split up there. And the ankles are going to be moving. Look at that mechanism there on the inside. Forward, back, left, right, and you've got 4 good-looking thrusters in there. And the toes themselves, though, are also going to be splitting and giving you the ability to bring them up. A couple of color apps missed down there, but otherwise the main ones are all where they should be. The only thing being is that this waist seems like it's just being held up on a long peg there. But this one just comes across as being a little bit too weak, and it looks like it's just one that flops all around all over the place there. Nothing impressive so far about that. It is going to be twisting off to the side if you can make it out there. It's going to be moving ever so slightly, and it will stay in place. An impressive bend forward there, although it's not always going to stay. And back, it will also go all right. On the back here, you can see that these parts will be moving up and down and twist them all around. You could probably bring them forward there if you want. And the shoulders are going to be popping right out of the arm there. So you could see he could reach across and touch his arm if you bring it up above, well, where the cockpit would normally be on most MSs there. Rotate this part around, and the shoulder armor is actually going to go up, so you can keep the arm down there. Some nice silver piping you can rotate as you'd expect up there for the shoulder. And the arm is going to come up above 90 degrees, but not all that much more. And the wrists are going to be connected in there. Remember that these are nice and detachable, and this forearm guard here is swappable. And upon close inspection, most of the color apps are going to be holding up here as you've got the thrusters moving with a nice range of motion there. Really, the only bad ones I've seen so far are down here on the hips, where chances are you're never going to see them. Obviously, they had their B team painting these up for them. For armaments, the beam shot rifle is looking impressive for its massive size there. It's also going to have some nice red color apps there, front and back, but otherwise just be a nice, solid, silver-looking kind of metallic look. The big disappointment being is that at the bottom you can see where they just cut this off, and it's the kind of thing that if you're building Gunpla, of course you're going to have a $2 silver or a gray lining marker there that you can just go and fix this up. If you're just a toy collector though, it's going to look a little bit shoddy if you see it from the wrong angle. Though the nice soft hands that are included here are going to do a good job of getting that trigger finger out there, no problem putting this on. With Char's now famous shield looking really good inside and outside, no problem with this being all red on the inside there, as you've got a nice solid guitar looking, something from the Extreme Gundam there in black. You can see some rockets down there at the bottom, and all you have to do is take this forearm part there and you can just put that in. This part here, I was wondering if it would move up and down. The answer is no. But the focus is going to be on the front there where you've got some great markings. These are all put on for you. It is going to feel a little bit raised as you move your finger over it there. And they're going to have this extra color app down there at the bottom. Very impressive and suitably proportioned. And armed up, that shot rifle is going to be just the right size for this oversized body there. And the shield, especially because it's going to have those black details on the inside and the nice yellow marking on the outside. Impressive. For height comparison here, if you were to go red on red violence, Flitasino in the Age 1 Titus over there, which is supposed to be oversized gorilla type wrestler, definitely looks like he's going to be a jobber compared to the Sazabi, which is coming across as the real beast in this ring. And next to the Age 1 Skinny over here, I cannot wait to get these guys facing off against each other in Gundam vs. Gundam Extreme Super Versus on the PS4. The Tall Geese 1 robot Damashii always struck me as being a little bit oversized, but it's going to be looking in right proportions here. And next to the eternal rival New Gundam here in high-grade Universal Century, not robot Damashii, these two have a lot of similarities in terms of the similarities of their body types. Not a lot of overlining there, but the New Gundam is going to have the edge there with his fin funnels on. But even next to a Master Grade 1/100, the Shinanju here, the Sazabi, if you could see if he was next to his 1/144th, definitely seems like he'd be in the right proportions. This is a very cool team to adorn your shelves. For ground posing, the end result I'm going to say is pretty impressive, but these legs, even though they seem like they should have better mobility, just don't come across as being particularly cooperative. Often they'll move into a position, but then they're not actually going to stay locked in. But if you have this guy looking down the barrel of his beam shot rifle, if you look at it at just the right angle, looking very sharp, the proportions definitely a highlight of this toy so far. And coming across here the other way, the beam shot rifle is going to work very nicely because the shoulder can dislodge so far forward there. The shield is going to look okay twisted here. You just don't want to really think about the angle that his forearm's at. But he can look down the barrel again, and you don't want to be on the wrong end of that. Two quality beam sabers there. You can see that they're going to be larger at the bottom with the handles looking pretty sharp. And even a simple back out and to the side is going to be intimidating there as he looks across his shield. Just one simple beam saber, but when this guy's handling it, impressive. And if sabers aren't enough for you, how about these tomahawks here? You've got this empty one which doesn't seem to want to go into the shield, whereas this half-sized one is going to be oversized there as he's ready to deliver that downward blow. And here you've got the full-length one, very impressive overall. And in terms of the length, if you want to go and stack it up to the beam saber, they're going to be about equal in length, but lots of play options. Just sort of seems funny that this one, I don't think that's ever going to get used. And with the half one in, I suppose you could say that this guy looks like a lumberjack. I leave it up to you whether that's okay or not. And the rear skirt here is going to be locked into place, although the nice yellow details are going to be good. But more importantly for posing, if you want to get him up aerial, they're going to have this custom connector. Unfortunately, he's going to be coming across as being too heavy here for your standard robot Damashii base unless you go and tighten that up. Unless you want to put it almost straight up and down there, you're going to see a little bit more of those hip thrusters, and still impressive every time you see the back there. The shield is going to be doing a good job of twisting out of the way, and if you just want to have him coming forward with a forearm slash, not bad. With his final trick being here that the containers can open to reveal the fin funnels, and these can actually detach so you can send them all off. It's a little bit disappointing though that they're not going to be giving you deployed ones here. Even the SD is going to have that. Nonetheless, the fact that they are deployable is a good start, and the fact that they've got some good mobility there is going to get them in some positions where you're actually going to see them get ready to launch. But if you want to go for a red comet kick there, which they're showing so clearly on the back of the box as being a lot higher than what you're actually seeing here in practice, it's still going to be looking okay, but you're going to have to be cheating with your eye level, getting them high up on your shelf and going straight up and down on that action base there. Bend the toes. It is the kind of thing that Char does well, but it doesn't seem to be wanting to go above the 90 degrees or parallel to the ground that they seem to be advertising on the back. Looking okay, just really, is he bending it like Char? Let's talk negatives and positives here to wrap things up. First of all, he's going to be missing just a few paint applications down around especially the front skirts and that middle waist section there. Just could be using a little bit more color, and overall, it doesn't seem to have the nice two-tone red. It does have a slight difference, but just not as much as we've seen over-exaggerated, even in things like the SD kits, and especially in the Master Grade, and I can only imagine what we'll be getting with the version K. So he does come across as being a little bit monocolor there, which is somewhat disappointing. His weapons are going to be okay. You're only going to be getting one version of the long beam tomahawk and one version of the short one. Perhaps it would have been nice if you could have gone dual sabers there in terms of the big ones. The beam sabers, make sure you don't break them, and the beam shot rifle, the fact that it's got cut marks underneath is going to be coming across as not so cool. And his kick option, not what they're advertising around there, and he can't even kick through this wall, or so it seems. Overall, though, in terms of the positives, how about the proportions? I'd say they look fantastic with all the right pieces and all the right colors. He's going to have some decent posability, although to go back to the negatives, the legs just don't want to seem to be that cooperative. Even up in the air, they just don't want to move exactly, or if they do move there, they're not going to stay there. But the arms are going to do a very good job. The shoulders up and down, the elbows doing well. The waist, though, mine is overextended and stretched. Can't get that back down, and in this case, it's just going to come across as looking awkward, as his upper body can go for twists. For other positives, though, the thrusters on the side skirts are going to be moving well. You've got the ones on the shoulders looking good, and the funnels deploying on the back are looking great. And overall, the shot rifle, oversized, cheesy, cartoony, and it matches the shield, the proportions, and the looks, and the overall posability, especially of the head, if you can get past that funny neck, all positives. So though it is going to feel like he's just a little bit limited on his options, he's coming with every weapon that he should come with. The fact that he's got more moving parts than you'd expect, all pluses. So at the end of the day, would I recommend this robot Damashii Sazabi? Of course, it's a Char suit from Char's Counterattack, absolutely iconic. No sign of a nightingale or anything ridiculous like that on the horizon. So this is going to be as good as it gets. Color apps, proportions, they nail it. And if you want to line them up against the new, whether it's football or just here rotating around on your shelf, it's going to be a lot of fun. Anyway, everybody, why don't you let me know your thoughts on this Sazabi, the robot Damashii lines here, and what you think, what else we could be getting from Char's Counterattack, and where is the future of the Sazabi? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Anyway, everybody, thanks for watching. Stick around for lots more news, reviews, and everything else you can use. And of course, don't forget, you can go vote to like or dislike this toy over at gundamreviews.net in its post. Thanks for watching, everybody. See ya. I couldn't bend the ball around the wall, but you know what? If I kick it low, I have the feeling that somebody's gonna jump, and I found their weak spot.